before kickoff. They started things off well, Andy, last season. Went out in the final, did not win the final, but of course after that you expected them to pick on and do much better. But it didn't go according to plan for Carlos Quadrat, and he'd be hoping to turn things around this time in the first, pre-season, or should I say the season opening tournament of the season.
The best possible chance to do it is in competitive football, and that's what you've got. I'm sure they're hoping for a new dawn after last season. Obviously in this tournament they've produced some really quality football and some gems of some young players as well. But good balance of youth and experience today, international players, some young starlets, and I expect that he'll want a reaction. He'll want a fast, bright start from his team to show their intent, to show the style of play that he wants to implement not over this tournament, this competition, but into the season and beyond.
Yeah, from a player's perspective, this is your best opportunity to impress your coach, tell your coach what you're made up of. Of course, you've given him hints of what you're made up of in the training sessions. He knows exactly what you're made up of. But it's in that competitive game. It's in that competitive frame of mind and that bubble that you play, that competitive game that you play, is where you can really tell your coach what you're made up of and sort of then leave an imprint on him for the rest of the season, Andy.
Very much so. The key to that is that the game is thick and fast, especially at this stage of the competition. And what they're able to do is put down a marker to have that shirt to say, look, I want to be that starting midfielder, I want to be that starting centre-back. On paper, there might be bigger names waiting to take the shirt, but there might be just one or two players who can surprise you and put a real stamp and a real authority on the game, and that's what this opportunity that they've got this evening to do.
There are your officials. Referee Aditya Purakasta is your main official for today. Assistant referee number 1, Pradita Kumar Nayak. Assistant referee number 2, Sprinson Singh, Wahin Bam. And our fourth official for the evening is Ashish Tiwari. Match commissioner is Hawan Amba Singh. And referee assessor is Mr. Murthy G. The teams are lining up, getting that rematch photograph just before we get things moving at the Yuva Bharati Krirangan. 133rd edition of the Durand Cup for a team that's reached they've reached the finals of the Durand Cup in its history. They won the Cup 60. And in 2022, Imami East Bengal FC lost in the group stages 23. They made it to the final. So then hoping 24, they'll go one better. Now Crespo, he's been such an integral part of that midfield. He is that solidifier, that solidity in the middle. And now with the arrival of Jackson Singh, he'll also be given the license to roam up as much as possible, because you know the way Jackson sits behind, just in front of the stopper backs. So Sal Crespo, in all earnestness, will be given that responsibility and that license to move up as much as possible. Captain of Indian Air Force New Delhi is what an opportunity it is for that team. The team from the services, they play the trade in Delhi. They don't get to play opponents like these, and they don't get to play tournaments like these all the time. So here's Carlos Quadrat, and this is the lineup that he's put out. It's a 4-3-3 is what we're calling it. You've got 4 defenders, and of course Mahdi Talal. Take a look at him, jersey number 8. He's come in this time for Imami East Bengal FC. Up front with him will also be jersey number 14, David Lal Sanga. Last time out for Mohammed Sporting, had such a wonderful tournament, and so he's now made the switch to the red and golds. It's a 4-3-3, but it could change as soon as the game goes on. And keep an eye out on Jackson Singh, playing his first official game as an Imami East Bengal FC player. As far as the Indian Air Force football team is concerned, they've gone for a simple 4-4-2. You've got, of course, players like Durand Somananda Singh, jersey number 24, Amal Das, jersey number 25, and of course you've got Ashok Kumar, their captain, Biswajit Halder, and Zishan and Smiley. Mohamed Aqib as well is one of those defenders you need to watch out for. Substitute bench. We've also got Diamantakos Dimitros, played for Kerala Blasters last season. He's not starting with him this time around, but he's going to be such an integral part for Carlos Quadrat, as will be Clayton Sid. He's not starting today as well. You keep an eye out for both those boys. He's in the Imami East Bengal FC in a spotted corner. It's the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. Attacking on your screen from left to right is the Imami East Bengal FC runners up last time around. The red and gold 16-time winners are taking on Indian Air Force football team from New Delhi. They're hoping to go one better, and there is no better way to start and to put the pressure on the team from the word go. Now remember, he's Singh. It's going to be up. Saubik Chakrabarti has been around Indian football for so long, but this boy has grown leaps and bounds since joining Imami East Bengal. He's become an integral part of the national team as well. Carlos Quadras in his second season with the red and golds. They say that first season is a bit of a whirlwind when you come in. It's a new atmosphere, a new place, sort of still assessing what is right, most right to move around. Second season is when you settle down, and can you really imprint? Need to imprint the way you want this team to play. It remains an army, he's going straight away. It's off for goals. They're asking for a corner, but the referee says nothing doing. It's a goal kick. Inches close to taking the lead within the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, what a great delivery. It's all about the quality of the ball that comes in. Really difficult ball to defend, centre-back heading going towards their own goal and just not able to quite get the finish on it. Great goalkeeping, last-ditch attempt, and obviously the Imami East Bengal trying to claim the corner as well.
Yeah, came in extremely close, David Lal Sangha. He's one of those players, you always see him in and around the box. You'll see him troubling players. His movement extremely good. Priyadarshan, head coach of Indian Air Force football team. Do keep an eye out on David Lal Sangha. He's one of those boys who sort of knows his way around the box. He's got that instinct of a striker, and whenever he's got that delivery coming in, you can make sure that he's going to be attacking that ball and making sure he can get that opening goal for the red and golds. Came inches close within the first 2 minutes. From the Indian Air Force football team, you want them to slow things down as much as possible. Early pressure coming in, and is expected from the big boys. Slow things down, get some control in the game, get yourself in the game, get rid of those nerves, those early few nerves that come in those early few minutes, settle down, and then have belief over yourself. Have belief in your abilities that you too can move around at the highest level. Here's Madi Dalal, right away, wily, nimble footwork from Madi Dalal. He impressed one and all in his first season in the Indian Super League, and that's one of the reasons they've gone for him. And he seems like a tricky customer, loves operating in those tight spaces purely because of that technical ability that he has.
One of the matchups I'm really looking forward to seeing, to be able to see how he's going to deal with it. Clearly, Dinesh straight away got really tight to him, but he was able to wriggle away and find a way through.
Very clearly you can see Madi Dalal is going to be involved in every attack that Imami East Bengal FC are going to be making. He's probably operating in that space in between the lines. Has probably been given a free role by Carlos Quadras. And when you got someone with that technical ability, you'd want to tell him, look, I don't want to restrict you to one side of the game. Move around wherever you want to be. Feel the game as much as you want to. You get as many touches as you want to be, because the more touches you get for us, the better the chance for us to go and get their goal, opening goal in this game. It's a team that has rich history in this tournament. It's a team that has rich history in Indian football. And this is a tournament that has huge history. One of the oldest tournaments in the world, one of the oldest tournaments in Asia as well. The Durand Cup has given so much to Indian football, not just from players, but has given teams like Indian Air Force football team a chance to come and shine at the big stage, a chance to come and show what you're made of. Throw in for Indian Air Force. Looks like they're going to go long, much like you see with a lot of teams trying to make use of that. And they do go in long. Goalkeeper there, defender there as well, Chanunga heads it out. Madi Dalal puts in another header, but it's packed with Indian Air Force football team. Nice looking ground, Andy. You can see the ball is moving well, so the players themselves are going to enjoy moving that ball on the ground.
I think both teams should try and get the ball down and play. For sure, we know that it's going to be Imami East Bengal who's maybe going to be the one who's going to dictate and be the one to have most possession of the ball. But it looks like a slick, zippy passing surface, and that can only help the style of football that I'm sure both coaches would like to implement today.
But there you go, Madi Dalal again, operating between the lines. Get that first touch, moves around, gets involved again. Again, he's asking for the ball. David is there. David goes for the shot. But that's well saved by the Indian Air Force football team keeper. David Sanga coming inches close yet again to get that opening goal for Imam East Bengal FC. They're not done as yet. They're moving now from the left flank. They find David again. Here's Mahdi. He's going to be seeing so much of the ball. Already you can see the influence that Mahdi Talal is going to bring to this team. And you can see why Carlos Quadrat has gone for him to get him in this team. You've got someone like that, Andy, who can operate in tight spaces. You know, he's your man who can unlock so many defences.
Yeah, they haven't got the back defensive line correct, have the team that have just come in and sat a little bit too deep and just allowed them to play through them straight away. Indian Air Force need to get that back line correct. Just obviously the threat to the back line from Army Eastville goal too strong for them just to be able to play them little patches around the corner. And another warning sign only 6 minutes into the game.
They've already had 2 chances, David Sanga. We're in the 7th minute of this game. And something tells me that that first goal isn't too far away. Like Andy mentioned right now, they're sitting deep, Indian Air Force football team. Quite different from what their coach was saying in the pre-match chat that we had with him. Coach Priyadarshan, who said we've come prepared, we're going for the 3 points. We've seen the way Imam East Bengal football club operate, and so we set up in a sense to counter that. The more they keep the ball, the more they'll get confidence, the more they'll get some composure, and hopefully they can then find the gaps to go ahead and get that goal versus Imam East Bengal. Lobs it out wide. Chinunga is there. Just the lone striker for the Indian Air Force. Here's Prabsupan Gill. Hijazi, who was there with Imam East Bengal last season. He's been a solid figure at the back. And in this day and age, Andy, of modern day football, it's not your central midfielders that are moving the ball around from left to right. It's your stopper backs like Hijazi and Chinunga.
The modern trend, isn't it, now, when people are asking about centre-backs and looking at recruiting centre-backs, the first thing they're asking is what are they like with the feet. I think one of the days where people used to say, well, what are they like defensively? Can they head it? Can they kick it? Are they committed?
Here you go. Here you go. Another attack from Imam East Bengal. They're looking good. They're looking fluid. The first corner of the game. Coming East Bengal's way. Saul Crespo this time. Making that run down the flank.
I think as we've seen over the opening couple of days, how important these set pieces are going to be, especially for teams who are there full time with each other day in, day out, practicing these on the training ground. These are opportunities to see if we can catch the Indian Air Force team a little bit cold with some clever movement, clever disguise running, maybe the addition of a couple of blocks in the box to try and free some of the big hitters to try and get that first contact on the ball.
Shobhit Chakravarti. He's been given the responsibility of taking that corner. Goes short. They plan for it. Mahdi Talal lays it down to the centre. Back to Shobhit Chakravarti. Disappointing cross coming in. Cleared by Indian Air Force. Straight away into the first 9 minutes of the game, and you sort of get a sense of how this game is going to play out over the 90 minutes. The Imam East Bengal are going to be throwing numbers in Indian Air Force box. Again, Mahdi Talal, found in the middle between the lines. They've got to do something about that Indian Air Force. Whenever he's come out there, he's found himself in no man's land. He's easily got the ball. He's had the turn to, the time to make that first and 2 touches, because if you let a player do that, you can open up defenses at will. Foul given against Chinunga. Seems a little surprised with that decision by the referee. They look settled so far. Carlos Quadrat will be happy the way the red and gold have started. First 10 minutes of this game. Lost the final to their arch rivals last season around in 2022. Mohan Bagan Super Giant. It was a good tournament for Imam East Bengal. Over large parts of that tournament looked like the favourite to go on and win it, only to lose it in the final. Progress nonetheless, because in 2022 they lost in the group stages. Lobbed ahead, trying to find that player in the Liverpool. Choking out with the throw in, back to the Indian Air Force. Right, and he was picked up and goes across corner. I guess from Carlos Quadrant's point of view, right, it's all about getting that first stroke. How you get it, where you get it, doesn't matter. That silverware and sort of get the story going for you and me.
Yeah, for the wider public, he'll want everybody to know that he's got a plan, he's got a way of recruiting players, he's got an identity and a style of play that's suited to the club. What's clear here straight away, you can see the style, they've got that 4-3-3 traditional formation, so the Catalonian coach is a big fan of that style of football. He always plays with that back four, one holding midfielder in Subic, Chakrabarti was just able to display, and then a lot of attacking players, a lot of forward options from two midfielders who are able to get high onto the pitch, and then obviously he's got the creativity and the freedom in the wide areas to play, especially to allow that we've seen rolling inside and picking up them little pockets of space. They'll be pleased with what I've seen so far, maybe a little more careful in the final third to create something, but in terms of the out of possession work, it's a strong start for them.
There they are on their left bank. No surprises, Mahesh Nawan is on the ball. Jackson Singh makes his way up. He's got space to cross, he's got two players to deal with as well. Eventually, falls into the hands of the Indian Air Force goalkeeper. Sanket that time for the Indian Air Force team. Playing a simple 4-4-2. You don't see too much of that nowadays in modern day football. You see a lot of 4-2-3-1, you see a lot of 4-3-1-2 as well. Not too many 4-4-2s. But from a coach's point of view, Andy, I'm guessing it's all about fluidity. It's all about changing your formations, it's all about changing the way you're playing in-game and how you manage that in-game.
Yeah, I think the problem that they're going to face is just the technical quality and the proficiency of the opponent today. You're just seeing it again there, just able to play through them lines. If you're just playing three specific lines, or a four and a two, it often means that there's gaps and there's pockets between them lines to exploit. When you've got some of the league's best players who can do that, you can just see a lovely little give and go combination there, and it took four players of the opposition straight out. So I think the advantage that it has is that hopefully the couple of strikers in Solar and Surab at the top of the pitch will be had close to each other and have something to work off, but it'll leave them exposed in the middle of the pitch.
Here comes East Bengal again. Now there you go, David, combining there with another pair. Mahesh Nawan has been dropped down. Referee's right there, says nothing doing. Play goes on. East Bengal comes threatening yet again. Slowly but surely, they found their way to the golden enough occasions, and again, you see this happening. Tobik Chakrabarti this time finds space in between the midfield and defence of Indian Air Force. Back to Madithalan. Clearly you can see how comfortable he is on the ball, loves keeping that ball as much as possible. Space in for the cross is put in. No one attacking it, a disappointing cross as well. Positives nonetheless from East Bengal, who keep on charging, keep on pushing forward for that first goal of this game. Space on the left, back to Mahesh Nawan Singh, does well to put it in. It's going to depend on the game company, does well to take it away from him. This backman, Ashok Kumar of the Indian Air Force. Goes long again now. Aimlessly puts it in front. All the hard work they've done at the back was completely to waste. Need to get a bit more composure, a bit more belief on the ball. Or believe in themselves that you can hold the ball, you can keep touches, you can pass it around. Move East Bengal FC away from their position. Because right now, it seems like Andy, it's pretty easy and simple for East Bengal in that defense and what they have to do.
Yeah, they've got some really good rotations in East Bengal at the moment, whether it's Jackson Singh just being able to get on it in a deep position like this on a quarterback role and dictate play, or whether it's Subic Chakrabarti able to get on it as well. But the challenge is going to come with these fullbacks, getting both fullbacks to get nice and high as well, if they can join in the attacks, because they are committing bodies forward, but they've got much control of the ball in terms of being able to build up play. And you can see Carlos Durand just on that side, just giving them some instructions that he's happy for them to keep it, happy for them to play around and back and keep momentum.
Yes, David Lalan. Has he done enough? He hasn't done enough. Well done by the defender on the patient. But he looks like a good customer. He looks like a good customer, does David Nalan. Once he took me Indian strikers, but the way he operates in the box and the kind of confidence on the box, but there's a lot of space on that right flank for Indian Air Force. What can they do with that? Apologies for that lag. Back with the Army East Bengal. Here's Maditalan. Clearly you can see he's fit in so naturally to his new team. Impressed one and all in the Indian Super League last season. I'm guessing as the games get tougher, opposing teams are going to facing man marking on Maditalan, because you see the way he's operating. Now he's more integral in the way Army East Bengal move and attack moving forward. They've got Durand on the bench, they've got Silva on the bench as well. So they've got quite a lot of firepower that is scoring goals is concerned. And Maditalan just adds to that mix. Long range effort, solid effort. Off target goal from South Despo. Positive signs yet again. Now look at that is happening down that left foot.
In there, the key areas we mentioned at the start of the game, the matchups in the wide areas and wide flanks. If you notice now with the freedom that he's got just to be able to roll in Talal as well on the opposite side. Here you can see on the other side of the pitch just rolling in and using his right and blazing it wide. Dal Crespo obviously leading the line there, just not able to get the shot on target. But I think if he is going to take his full back inside, Talal is going to take the left back in Akif nice and narrow, then he's got an opportunity for Rakip as the full back just to get overlapping him and see if he can then be that spare man to deliver some balls in.
Rakip has made space down that left flank. That's one of the default modes of any fullback. Does well to get away from this player there, has space to put the cross in. It's a disappointing cross because there were 3 East Bengal players waiting for that cross in the box. Zoltan Puya that time around, left back showed good composure to get away from his marker, but a disappointing cross. So Indian Air Force live another day, they breathe another day. 19 minutes in. Now what can Indian Air Force do? This is unfamiliar territory. That's well to get away from his marker. What's the cross? And there you go! Who would have thought that was going to happen? Who expected that to happen? Within the first 20 minutes, it was all Army East Bengal FC. But would you believe it? Would you believe it? Sort of Sadukar.
ইন্ডিয়ান এয়ার ফোর্সের প্রথম গোল কিন্তু হয়ে গেছে 18 মিনিটের মধ্যে। ইস্টবেঙ্গল এখনো শূন্য।
Yeah, Incredible. We mentioned about that 4-4-2 setup, what it might mean with traditional wingers putting balls into the box. The first thing you saw then, as soon as that ball that was played in, delightful ball in, they've got the bodies in, they've committed the 2 strikers into the box. Warman, you've not quite picked up defensively all over the place in the box, not marking tight enough, not being able to get the first contact. And what brilliant finish. This has really set the cat amongst the pigeons here to go a goal down. You just see, look at a little combination play, just teases it up with the beating man, 1v1, stands that ball up and just not able to get across and defend it, and a lovely redirected goal.
Now the cross came in from Saurav Sadhukan. Now from Samananda Singh. What a way to start things off for Indian Air Force football team. They've had their backs against the wall for much of this 20 minutes versus the Army East Bengal. And not only their second attack of the game, Somananda Singh has given the lead to Indian Air Force football team. More importantly, he's given quite a jolt to Army East Bengal and also that capacity crowd.
24 নম্বর জার্সিধারী সোমানন্দা গোলটা করেছে ইন্ডিয়ান এয়ার ফোর্সের হয়ে।
This makes that contest a lot more fascinating, a lot more interesting now. We've been talking about it now. You want the fullbacks to go up knowing that not much as far as Indian Air Force in attack. So you want to push players in front. Now you're down by a goal. What more do you see now? Do you see that intent coming in from Army East Bengal? Here's Mahesh Naram Singh. Zoltan Bhutia gives him space. Here's Chununga. All players in Indian Air Force football team score. Here's Jackson Singh, the new man in from Kerala Blasters football club. Mainstay for Indian football in the center of the pitch. Disappointing cross, but was lucky to get a corner. And so yet another opportunity for the red and gold.
Yeah, big challenge now for the Indian Air Force team is not to sit back and not to be negative in terms of sitting on that lead now and protecting it, because they'll drop that 5 to 7 metres deeper. They'll become a little more passive in when they're pressing the ball. They've got to try and get some momentum, try and get another counter-attack, try to get the wingers more involved in the game again. But obviously all to do for Army East Bengal now, and another opportunity to do it with a well-worked set piece.
Durand saying, so far the crossing hasn't been that great. Puts the ball in. Numbers in the box, but no one able to get a connection on it. Was Paul Crespo. Back to lays it up front to Saul Crespo again, does well. He's got 2 players for company. Gets the throw in. Referee says throw in for Indian Air Force football team. You much guess the run of play. I've taken the lead versus the Army East Bengal Football Club. There are teams like these that you really look forward to. In a David versus Goliath battle, you've got Diamantopoulos on the bench, you've got Clayton Spilgo on the bench. I don't think the coach will be in any hurry to bring them in right now because you're in the first 20 minutes of the first half. But if the flow line persists like this in the second half, you can be pretty sure one of those 2 players will be warming up and being sent out on the pitch. Diamantopoulos in particular had a great season with Kerala Blasters. When came to Kolkata, was given a rousing welcome by the Army East Bengal fans who thronged to the airport in large numbers to make sure how much they love and the kind of expectation they have from the main man. Greek striker, playing for Kerala Blasters last season. Long ball put in. Hijazi does well to deal with it. And so East Bengal will come again. Rakip plays it back to Shunanga. Hijazi now on the ball. Has acres of space in front of him. Back to Shunanga. Jackson Singh, as expected, playing in front of those 2 stop backs. The insurance, here's Sam Crespo. Good move that was developing between him and Durand. It's nice to see Sam Crespo in a month of advanced role tonight. One of the reasons they bought Jackson Singh, giving him the license to move in front, and he could see the kind of impact he could have on the screen. Goes diagonal, does Hijazi, does well. Finds Rakip. Rakip back to Madi. 2 players in front of him. Finds out Crespo. It's a good combination between the 2 players. Well read by Indian Air Force. What yet another Army East Bengal attack. Mohammad Akib laying in front for his striker. Haven't been able to hold on to the ball at all. I'm guessing Indian Air Force football team knows that, Andy. It's going to be that kind of thing. Not to see the ball. And when they do see it, it really depends on how well they can do.
Very much so. Possession stats are suggesting they've actually had twice as much possession.
Lays it out right. Look at Durand. Back of the ball. Durand. Doing a lot of space up front and left full back. Back to Sotkuya. There's Madhik Mohal, he's busy.
Yeah, just saying there, up to 65% possession now in Army East Bengal. It's obviously what you do with it, that count have created a couple of early opportunities, but they're getting frustrated by a well-organised team when they don't have the ball. And they've got them 2 strikers and outlets just to try and give them a bit of release, just to try and hold on to it and get some fouls or draw some opportunities or mistakes from the opposition.
They've got space on the side now. As well as Mohammad Rakib. We're a part of the age group teams for the national team, was part of the World Cup team as well. Been around with this team now. hasn't had the best of seasons for Bengal. They haven't tasted silverware for a while now. For a team of that kind of tradition, for a team of kind of letting their name, trophy-less seasons don't go on more. That puts Carlos Cuadra was hoping to keep this time. He had 90 minutes of winning his first trophy in last edition's tournament. Back to Jackson Singh. Onto racket. Finds Madi. Brilliant first touch. Brilliant first touch. Second touch. Shows that occasion now is David Lalistanga. See from Umami East Bengal's point of view that the two recruits, Andy, seem to be gelling pretty well in what is their first official game of the season.
Yeah, I think ultimately the final third is where the details of the game are going to be drawn. They need them little combinations, being able to get both the fullbacks. You've just seen in recent times Rekip just able to join a little bit higher. And then combination is going to be key, but they seem to be working the patterns well, just not able to have that killer instinct. But I think the credit has to go to the Indian Air Force in terms of how they're set up. They are organised. They're very predictable in what they do, but what they're doing is they're executing it really well. Just got to stay high and try and force themselves every time the ball goes backwards to try and get 5 or 10 yards higher than they are doing and not drop too deep into the box.
Zishan Zansari has picked up a knock. It's when that sort of a game they've got to put their bodies on the line. The Durand, of course, protects that lead. Madi Dalal and Zishan involved in that mix-up. He's going to be a crucial member for Umami East Bengal this season. It's also a great platform, Andy, for these young players of Indian Air Force to be noticed by some of the big teams, to be noticed by scouts, and then hopefully find themselves a contract with one of the big clubs in the season.
They've acquitted themselves really well. I think technically where they might fall short in certain areas, they've certainly developed the team understanding, and individually in centre midfield, they knew it was going to be a really big battle and difficult for them, but I think Dinesh in there, they've held themselves really well at the start. Obviously difficult for both the full-backs against the quality of wingers they're up against, but the coaching staff can have no complaints. Peter on the sideline there giving some instructions out. I have no complaints to how they've committed to it. They set the call, that they had a game plan, they've done the homework and they've executed it really well so far.
Another opportunity coming in for Umami East Bengal. This time around Southwest, but they're coming close, being opponent by Cuadra. They're putting on the pressure. Still down by 1 goal in this first game. Their first game of the 133rd edition of the Durand Cup. They already won the Super Cup last season as Carlos Cuadra came within 90 minutes of winning the Durand Cup as well. Hoping to chase things in a Nara Mahesh. How often have we seen him doing that? He's got that confidence in him. Put in the box. Madi Dalal put in the cross. Another long ball put in by the Indian Air Force goalkeeper, Subhajit Basu that time. You'll have to say, for all the action that you're wanting from the wings, Andy, crossing has left a lot to be desired from the Red and Gold.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with the quality of the crosses that have come in, especially from the 3 corners that they've had so far. I think the difference there is that Indian Air Force team bringing every player back to defend every set piece, so wave after wave of attacks, especially if they're able to clear the first ball.
Here's another attack. Numbers as usual by Indian Air Force at the back. That's what's in their hands. They're going to try outrun Umami East Bengal FC. They're going to make sure they make it as difficult as possible, not give them as much space, open space. They could be ahead of them in technical ability, in terms of composure, in terms of big match experience. But if you can give as much heart as possible, you're going to make it very difficult for the likes of Shobit Chakravarti and company from Umami East Bengal. Yeah, that's what they've got to do. Keep trying to disrupt play as much as possible, Andy.
Yeah, the set pieces, as we say, are key. I think there could be an opportunity for the Indian Air Force team to maybe to leave a striker up, leave somebody higher up the pitch to force Umami East Bengal to then either go man-to-man, 1v1 at the back, or 2v1 and try and take a couple of their attacking threats away from the box, but every effort is to obviously defend their goal first, and that means bringing all 10 players back and having 11 in the box to defend.
As well defined, best court was in Madi Talal. You could see they were trying to work over there. Put the ball back inside. You broken it on the training ground. The execution so far has left a lot to be desired in that final third for the red and gold. Zohan Bhuiya gets the ball back. Here's Mahesh Naran Singh. Yet another corner for Bobby East Bengal. Now the squadrons will be hoping, and all the fans that are there in the stadium and screaming that are watching our broadcast right now, that the delivery is a lot better than what we've seen in these first 30 minutes.
See a perfect example there. Bringing every player back just means that can load the box, get some good movement, and get with the quality delivery, hope to threaten the Indian Air Force goal. I'd like to see them try and leave a couple of players right higher up, at least one.
Again, same old story, same old, same old. All hasn't been clear. Long shot taken, aimlessly taken. Yet another opportunity wasted for Imami East Bengal.
Yeah, the challenge now for them, they're starting to tire out these half an hour into the game. And clearly maybe the superior fitness of Imami East Bengal kind of showing now. You can see every time it's going out to play, the Indian Air Force team just struggling to get back in, get the breathers. They've got to make sure they ride this bit of a storm now that might come for the next 15 minutes leading up to half time.
23rd minute of this game, much to the surprise of everyone who's present in the stadium and the people watching this broadcast. Indian Air Force football team have taken the lead. Another cross put in this time. Just the two players inside for Indian Air Force football team. Number 15 that time, sort of Sadhukan. He's looked like a busy player when they're going in front. Seems good in the box. Put that cross in for that opening goal for his team. Got by Somananda Singh. Very well as far as the direction was concerned. It was only going to be second best. That far from the goal. Now you can see it again. Fullbacks are trying to bomb forward, so he goes forward now. Tries to find David Lalan Sangha. Had a great season with Mohammedan Sporting. You saw the way he played in that last edition of the Durand Cup. Looked like a confident player. Was that top scorer for Mohammedan Sporting. And when you start playing like that in Kolkata football, when you start playing like that in these national level tournaments, there's no surprises that the big teams come calling. Big teams come calling because goal scorers are not by the many, are not by the dozen in Indian football. So when you've got a genuine goal scorer, you want to get him in your team and plug him in. Because an Indian goal scorer is something the national team is also crying out for. The leading goal scorer for the Red Goals in their history is, of course, a name everyone is known in Indian football, Bhaichan Gudia, who scored 148 goals for the Red Goals. But yet again, here's, of course, Saurav Sadhukan finds space. Again down that right flank. He's got company on the side, puts the cross in, puts a good cross in. Danger still not cleared. And now, finally, into the calming hands of Prakruk and Gale. They're coming close, is Indian Air Force.
Yeah, fullbacks are finding it difficult. They're getting beaten, especially in wide areas. Mahesh not recovering on occasion to try and support the fullback, and then the deliveries are coming in thick and fast. One thing I've been impressed with from the Indian Air Force team is they have won a lot of first contacts in the box. I think that will be something Carl Durand is going to be concerned about, the number of first contacts they win. Obviously they've had the goal, they've had a couple of headers wide, but it's the amount of contacts they're able to win in the box, and surely be a frustration that the centre-backs aren't able to win that first contact, that first duel, and at least get them back on a footing.
Here's Imami East Bengal now. Fresco goes for a long range shot with Madi Talal. Yet again favoured. It's the same old story for Imami East Bengal. It also has to do a lot with the heart that they're showing so far, Andy. Early change now coming in for the Indian Air Force football team. Jersey number 5. Arshpreet Singh is coming in for Mohammad Tanish. We talk about those long balls that are put in by Indian Air Force, and the heart and the desire they show to get that ball seems to be causing lots of problems for the Imami East Bengal Football Club team.
Yeah, Dennis, I don't know if maybe he picked up an injury clearly. Don't think it'd be a tactical move this early on. He was obviously on the yellow card as well for the rash challenge. Well, like we've said, opportunity knocks for another player to come in. Rash straight away, probably slips straight into that midfielder role. Unless he goes into the back line and they try and change formation. But I suggest we'll stick with what's working for them so far.
It's working now. Here's David Lansanga. Another opportunity. Takes a touch too many. He's got players for company now. Lots of players coming in. Takes another shot. Inches wide yet again from getting that first goal for the Red and Goals.
Yeah, you see, desperately trying to get some instructions on to maybe a change of shape and a change of formation, but they weren't set, they weren't organised at all, and there were just far too many gaps and holes through the central area. Great little hold-up play, just being able to dive David in there, and then unfortunately just not being able to get the finish away. But the opportunities, we said, they're going to have to brace themselves for this final 15-minute onslaught, and he's certainly living up to that.
I just get the feeling that you get that first goal with the Red and Goals, it will open floodgates for them in this game. But the Indian Air Force are looking like a confident bunch in these last 5-7 minutes. Here they are on the attack yet again from the right flank. Saurav Sadhugan again in the mix, jersey number 15. He's been causing all sorts of problems up front for the Red and Goals. And there you go. Get the ball in again. Jackson Singh now does clearing up duties. Narim Mahesh finds David Lansanga. On to Shobhit Chakravarti. He has space out wide. He has a player for company. Changes direction. Two players ahead of him. Back to Sal Crespo. Keeping the ball well is Imami East Bengal, as you would expect. For a team with that much pedigree and that much talent in them. Here's Mehdi Talal. Yet again disappointing. But this time, it seems to have come a deflection of an Indian Air Force player and a corner coming in for the Red and Gold.
Get a fifth corner now. They've got to make some inroads into this deficit so far. For all the possession, all the territory, the chances that they're creating. It's got to be the final third work. That's got to be the most frustrating thing for them at the moment. Looks like a change of shape. Looks like Arash has gone into the back line as well, whether they've gone to a back five. We'll keep an eye on that.
On a good day. They're over there. No one there for company. And an open goal to take for. Is calling for a handball. Referee says nothing doing. Play goes on. Another chance for Mehdi Talal to put the ball in. Disappointing. Met by the defender on the first post. Chance for the Indian Air Force to clear. And they clear it well. Now, what do the Air Force team do? Saurav Sadhugan is seeing much of the ball with the Air Force team moving in front. He's asking for that handball. Referee was in a prime position to see that, so no one was really blocking his view. We'll have to take a look at that replay yet again. Did it turn off the hand of one of the Indian Air Force team football defenders? On to Zoltan Puya. Has acres of space, gets past one player. Finds David Lansanga, gets another shot going in, gets another deflection, another body on the line, and another corner for Imami East Bengal.
Yeah, we've seen now the last two corners, they've been able to get a man free and get a clear sight at goal. They've really got to make the most of these opportunities coming up to that half-time break. Indian Air Force have got to dig in, they've got to try and get tight to the men, they've got to recover quick.
Probably the chance of the match for Imami East Bengal. And acres of space. Had the time to take that shot, had the time to put direction and power in that shot, only for it to go fly high over the Indian Air Force post.
We mentioned it, slow to react, slow to get organised, allows the 2v1, the short corner, well worked. It's not often that you can get two touches in the box and get a clear sight of goal. He'd really ruined the big opportunity to get his team back into the game.
Massive opportunity for Imami East Bengal. We still got 5 minutes left in this first half. And that scoreline isn't incorrect. It is the Indian Air Force football team that are leading 1-0 versus last year's runners-up. That are leading 1-0 versus the 16th time Indian Oil Durand Cup winners. Here's Zothan Puya. He's been busy on that left flank. Has acres of space to use now. Two players moving in. There's Saul Crespo. On to David Lalan Sangha. Does well to keep the ball. Back with now Ray Mahesh. Tries to find David Lalan Sangha. And gets yet another corner for Imani East Bengal.
Yeah, they're going into a back five. It'll be a low block. They're going to have to do some defending deep, defending for long periods now. I think there's make it as compact as they can. Arash has come in, looks like he's gone into the back line. Still keeping the two strikers, maybe in a 3-5-2 formation. Been really impressed with Surab at that top end of the pitch.
All eyes on the delivery now. It's a good one that's put in. And it's finally in the hands of the goalkeeper of Indian Air Force, Subhajit Basu. Plays it out wide to the left flank. They've got numbers behind the ball now. And here you go. As I mentioned earlier as well, Diamantakos is going through the rounds as far as the warm-up is concerned. If the scoreline remains the same, yep, you guessed it, second half is probably when you're seeing Diamantakos play his first official game for Imani East Bengal Football Club. It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to get acquainted with the fans. None better than getting a goal for your team to get you back in this game. Who knows, the winner as well. Diamantakos impressed one and all with Kerala Blasters last season. Seems to have an eye for goal, a hard-working striker. Always on the move, always doing something. And you want your top man to be doing that. You want your top man to have an eye for goal. You want your top man to always be a spot of bother for your opposing defenders. Always troubling them. Jackson Singh, good 1-2, good triangle play between Imani East Bengal players. David Lalan Sangha has broken through. David Lalan Sangha has the opportunity to give them the lead when David Lalan Sangha has given Imani East Bengal their first goal of the 134th edition of the Durand Cup. He's been coming close on the occasion. He's come close on 3 occasions, but this time around, David Lalan Sangha tells the Wallace Quadrat and the red and goals of Imani East Bengal exactly what he's made up of. Gets his first goal for the red and goals in official competition. Imani East Bengal 1, Indian Air Force football team 1.
You'd have to say it's been coming from the pressure. We did call it. It was on its way. You can see the defensive line again. As soon as they've lost possession of the ball, they're having to drop off, retreat back to their own goal. Timing up the run just on the shoulder of the deepest defender. A lovely first touch sets it up, and he's just judging the bounce of the ball and using that field to flight it over. But it's a lovely first touch that puts him in a position where he's between the man and the defender. And then he just guides it over the oncoming goalkeeper who's trapped in absolutely no man's land, Basu.
There's quality there, no doubt about it. And the best part is that's an Indian player that's playing the striker's role to perfection. He's been doing that last season in Mohammed Sporting. You saw it that he had ingredients like that. There were murmurs that David Lalan Sangha might be called for the national camp. If he continues with performances like that, there's no doubt that David Lalan Sangha will be a part of the national setup sooner than later. What a way to start your career with the red and goals. Get you that first goal of the game, get you that goal that equalizes things in the first game for you in the 133rd edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. Now, what will Indian Air Force coach Priyadarshan do? I'm guessing first thing on mind is make sure you get into half-time with a 1-1 scoreline. Don't concede any more than that. And try building on the positives of that first half, taking it to the second half. Saul Crespo now. Things are moving very freely now for East Bengal. Madhi Talal was expecting Saurav Chakravarti, Shobhik Chakravarti, apologies. He's looked good, he's looked comfortable. He looks like a natural fit for his new team as Madhi Talal. French player, played for Punjab last season. Has made the switch to Kolkata. Back with Madhi. Brought down. Pressure put on him straight away.
You can see the Indian Air Force team that made a slight tactical change back into that back four again, and Sarek now coming into the midfield. I keep going into that left winger position. Arash going into left back.
Now another opportunity for East Bengal. Another opportunity wasted by Imami East Bengal. Mahesh Nauram. The ball was put in well by Sultan Puya. Had the opportunity to give them the lead, to take a 2-1 lead going into that half time. But yet again goes the begging.
Yeah, the Air Force team caught ball watching, aren't they? Not following the men into the box and making sure the man-to-man and just kind of rush/finish across the face of goal. But ominous sign coming up to the half-time interval. That a bit of dominance now, physical dominance. They're technically showing they're a lot more proficient. Just need to get the finishing touches to the game.
Medina again on to Shobhit Chakravarti, makes that run in front, and that's been the way they've been operating that three-man midfield. Maybe Jackson Singh, Saul Crespo or Shobhit Chakravarti. One man sits back and the other two of course then start moving in front, start connecting with the three man up front, that Mahesh Nagar, Madit Lal and David Lalan Sangha. A 4-3-3 is how Carlos Quadrat has put his team out. And with that whistle, it's the end of the first half. First game of this 133rd edition of Durand Cup of Imami East Bengal. Runners-up last season, were given a goal within the first 20 minutes of the first half of the Indian Air Force football team.
ফিরে আসবো আমরা সেকেন্ড হাফে এরকমভাবে লাইভ নিয়ে। তো কিছুক্ষণের জন্য ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে, আবার সঙ্গে থাকুন সেকেন্ড হাফ।
David Lalan Sangha leveling things up. It's not time at the Yuva Bharati Trirangan. Imami East Bengal 1, Indian Air Force football team 1. %60% possession for Imami East Bengal. 15 shots. Look at how many were on target. Just the 3 shots on target. Fouls committed 6 by Indian Air Force. And my guess is Carlos Quadrat is only going to be talking about that in that half-time talk. Number of shots they've taken, but how many of them have been on target? It's the first game to the runners-up of last season. 16-time winners Imami East Bengal were taking on Indian Air Force football team at the Yuva Bharati Trirangan. Indian Air Force, of course, ply their trade in Delhi. Dignitaries shaking hands with the players. It's a massive team in Indian football. So much tradition, legendary status in the game. And you've got Saul Crespo, an integral part of the Imami East Bengal Football Club. 2-3-3. How Carlos Quadrat set up his team with the likes of Maritalal and Jackson Singh in that playing 11. First opportunity fell to David Lalan Sangha, signed by Bournemouth Sporting last season. Came inches wide, got the post in the first 2 minutes, and then it was David yet again. Busy in that first half. He's a busy man in that box, but squandered many opportunities despite the opportunities that was created for him. Saul Crespo then took a long ranger, and that has been much the case in that 45 minutes. Sultan Puya has been busy down that left flank. Indian Air Force were just soaking up the pressure as much as possible, as it was Imami East Bengal Football Club calling the shots all the way. But then this happened. Saurav Sudakin put that ball in, crossed that ball in, but only now and Samananda Singh to get the opening goal of that game. What a shot that was, completely against the run of play. Indian Air Force football team taking the lead in that first half with that Samananda Singh header. And so Imami East Bengal game came, searching for that opening goal, searching for that equalizer. Only but David Lalan Sangha coming in the 43rd minute and getting his first goal for Imami East Bengal. Chananga blasting wide. Massive opportunity, and then came the goal. Brilliant run, brilliant first touch, and then the composure to dink it over the goalkeeper. Much deserved for David Lalan Sangha, much deserved for Imami East Bengal Football Club. 45 minutes of the past 45 minutes in the game versus between Indian Air Force and Imami East Bengal Club. It's 1-1 at the Yuva Trirangan.
पूरी दुनिया जीत के हमारे वर्ल्ड चैंपियंस आ रहे हैं सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क पर। वनडे सीमेंट कप श्रीलंका वर्सेस इंडिया, थर्ड T20 है कल शाम 6 बजे से लाइव सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क पर।